Lisa LaBelle, everyone.
Hello, world. Welcome to the L4 podcast. I am your host, Lisa LaBelle, the technology comedian, and this is episode 3 of the L4 podcast. We're getting some feet on this puppy, and thank you for joining in with me today. I cannot express how much I love you guys. I love my audience. I am feeling good today. I am hydrated. I have caffeine. I am caffeinated. I smell good. I just bought new deodorant, and I usually don't like anything scented, but I gotta have something scented for the old pits, if you know what I mean. And we're getting into warmer weather here in Georgia, so the sweat is coming on, and so does the stank. So you gotta keep it under wraps. So I got a new deodorant, and I absolutely love it. It's an all natural thing, but it smells like frankincense and your best childhood memories. That's what it smells like. It's incredible. It's really great. I did a stand-up comedy set last Wednesday at Helium Comedy Club, and it was good. I have a bit about the small things in life, like peeling, like getting an avocado, which are so expensive, and then you cut it open, and someone in the audience said, "Oh yeah, and it's bad." It's like, no, I understand. Like, you want to finish my joke, but do you really think I'm gonna bring a lame, uncreative joke like that? Do you what? This is the caliber of joke you think I'm bringing to you guys? You want to finish my joke with that tack, with what? No. Good Lord. Does anyone out there do the Norwegian 4x4? I was getting ready for my Norwegian 4x4, which I do once a week. And I do once a week, usually on Sundays. So I'm preparing my body, I'm conditioning, and I go to get on my stationary bike, and I stub my toes. I do that a lot. I stub my toes a lot. I'm just thinking, what if we had sensors on our toes like we did in our cars, that when you get close to something, all the beeps start going off. You know, when you're inching your way up to something, it starts off at a nice low, moderate decibel. It's probably not low. It's a moderate decibel, like beep, 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 beep. And then as you're getting closer to it, you're getting closer to smash potential, and it starts going beep, 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 going faster. And then as soon as you're about to smash it, it's like beep. Yeah, it's like so that's anyway, I'm saying we should have that on our toes. And then auto stop takes hold, like autopilot, auto stop takes hold, and it stops the car, stops it straight, and it's just boom, right there, dead in its tracks. And that's what we should do. Like, we have these sensors, and then as soon as your toes are getting closer to the smash object, it's just, our bodies just stop, and people they'd be really surprised at first, I think, at this technology, and especially their body just stopping, but I think it'd be a good thing, and it would save a lot of toes. Toes are important. They are. We need to save the toes. Just save those toes. That's my campaign for the toe sensors. Save those toes. Don't smash them. Save them. Speaking of smash, have you ever been on the beach and you've seen sand structures? This is my, here we are. Here we go. Sand structure. I think my aggressive behavior or thoughts might be from maybe like high tea. I think I naturally have some high tea, but it's all good. I've been checked out and everything's good. But I got high tea, high testosterone. And so just a little bit, it's okay. It's just enough to be perfect, to be good, and just enough to be a little angry, just or just enough to when you're on the beach and you see sand structures, you want to they look like they need to be smashed. You just want to pop them on, like pow, 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 right in a row. Like, but I wouldn't do that. That is so mean. I would not do that. but I think about it. I do. I think when I see that, I think about it. Or yeah, you're somewhere and okay, I was downtown Alpharetta, and there's little shops there and everything, and someone was outside with a treat, like little samples for their ice cream store or whatever, coffee store. But she had a tray. She looked so happy, and I'm just like, why does she look so happy? There's kids here screaming, and moms are like, here, eat this sample of ice cream, Tanner, and stop crying, and like the baby and the kids like throwing the samples, but the woman holding the samples is like oh, that's fine. I'm just like, how are you okay with this? Like, your happiness is making me so uncomfortable right now. I have got to tip that tray. That tray needs to be tipped, and then let's see where you're at. I just want to take my hand and push. Pow! Just all of them go up in the air. Tanner, catch all those samples. Yeah, I don't know. I know. I wouldn't do it. That is so mean. Stop it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that. No. Humanoids. Let's talk about, we got some updates on 1X Technologies, Humanoid Neo. Neo is a domestic robot, and they showcased their humanoid in a really cool ad a few months ago. And when they did that, the interesting thing about Neo is it's made of like these soft silicones, and there's not a lot, like, it's not like a titanium robot or a steel frame, or it's very squishy and soft. So it's almost like you want to hug it. And it has a jumpsuit on it to make it look a little more approachable. And I was just thinking, okay, so this humanoid is built for and designed to help with housework, cleaning dishes, laundry, vacuuming, all the things that have a zero net gain in life. Like you clean and then you have to clean again. You fold your laundry and then you have to fold your laundry again. It's just like there's nothing becoming there. It's not progressive at all in any way. It's just things that you have to do, okay, to be organized in life. So now their new Neo it's like a cream jumpsuit. And I'm just wondering how do we wash this? Because it's going to be helping us with all of our housework. Okay. It's going to be getting dirty. It's going to be getting like stains from little Kevin running over and sneezing all over it. It's the norovirus or whatever. And then, a guest is going to want to come in and give it a hug. It's so approachable and cool, and so, but you got to clean it, right? You got to bleach it. I'm just like, how are we going to do that? That's going to be a pain in the arse. You know what I mean? So 1X Technologies, can you figure that out and make it easy? Like, it's got to be easy. It's got to be an easy job. Yeah. So I'm thinking though that humanoids are going to be, there's going to be more robots than humans probably in the next 10 years, and not necessarily bipedals, but quadrupeds, like dog or like dog robots, or any kind of robot, little vacuuming robot, little lawn robot, just robots in general. Like in Star Wars, there's all different kinds of robots, and that's how it's going to be. But I think there will be a time when everyone can have their own humanoid, and they will be equipped with some sort of medical scanning technology, possibly. So when you wake up in the morning, it scans you, and it's like your blood pressure is this, your cholesterol is this, blah, blah, blah. And then it sends it to your doctor if need be, or it tells you, So and just for anyone, even healthy people, it just scans you and keeps an eye on you, and it can tell if you have any kind of infection, or if you're about to stroke out, or have a cerebral occlusion, or it can keep an eye on all that, and or like how hey, you have a little bit of foot fungus going on, you might want to clean that up, and stuff like that. So, but my robot, I would like my robot to have all that, absolutely, and also, but be kind of like a socially awkward robot, because I was like that. I was homeschooled for basically 4 years, and then I went to a one-room schoolhouse with a bunch of farmers' kids, and out in the middle of nowhere in Amish country. It was Christian too, so it's by the time I got out of that school and went to high school, I didn't know what the heck anyone was saying. I came from a school where it's like two in the hand is like two in the bush, or whatever that saying is. And then I go to school and they're like word, or I don't know, and they're talking about Abercrombie and Finch and J-Lo and Britney Spears. I'm like, what? Where am I? What is happening? So I was a little bit socially awkward, but it was great because I made a lot of friends that way. It was definitely an icebreaker for sure. I know I was able to laugh at myself, and that's just a lot of great memories in high school because of the schooling I came from prior to that. Everyone's like, what is this thing that just like crawled up under a rock? I didn't know what the heck was going on for the past 8 years before that. I'm like, I don't know who's the president. I don't know. Like what, my grandma would be, when I visit her, my grandma would be like, don't you read the news? I'm like, no, my mom thinks everything's the devil. Like the only movies that we could watch, my brother and we lived with our mom, and it was anything from like the 1830s up to, I'll say, the 1930s. Wow, they had cameras in 1830. The 1940s, anywhere on up to maybe the 60s, maybe. But then it was getting a little too rough and tumble. I think was like Chips. I think that was 60s or 70s, but like Crimes on Wheels, or but none of that. But we could watch Lilies of the Field with Cindy Portier. Man, did I loved that guy. To Sir with Love. I was like, who is this dude? And then when I grow up and get older enough to be married, I need to go find him, and not realizing he's like really old. It's like really, really old. Or the Robinson family. I think the Robinson family. And that we watched Sound of Music probably like 20 times. Yeah, 20. Sound of Music. What else we got? Charlton Heston, Moses. You got Soylent Green. All the old. Oh, we even watched. The guy who Al Jolson. Does anyone know who that is? That is wild. I'm glad I was exposed to all of this because I did study some film history in college. And man, I'm just super glad I got exposed to it. It's like, what are these people doing? Breakfast at Tiffany's, Mickey Rooney. What? So these are the movies. Dr. Dolittle, the original Dr. Dolittle. I think that was Audrey Hepburn. I mean, I could go on and on and on about that. Anyway, so this is where I came from. My dad and my stepmom would come and visit us. Good influences. Everyone, my whole family, good influences. The people in our life, our parental units and grandparents and everything. Great, good people. But so my dad would come visit us and my stepmom, and a few times a year. And then my brother and I got so happy because it's like, oh my gosh, we're going to go to the movies and we're going to see a secular movie and see what's going on out there. Like, what are the kids doing these days? Like what are they into? And, so That's what and then yeah, exactly. And then I go to high school and I'm like, I don't know what anyone's talking about. So back to the whole spinning around, I weaved, and we're gonna weave back around to the socially awkward thing. And so I took some public speaking courses in college, and I just absolutely loved it. And so yeah, I want my robot to be socially awkward, like I was. And then what it can do is my robot. And by the way, my robot's name is Yul Brenner. That's because The King and I. That was a pretty good movie, and he just seemed like a badass. I think so Yul Brenner, and then that's also my humanoid named Yul Brenner. He loves Yul Brenner. He loves The King and I too. It's just so we have that in common. And then so when we're at social events, my humanoid Yul Brenner, he's just he'll go up to people and introduce itself, and it will just be fantastic. And then someone who maybe isn't nice to me or hasn't been nice to me, Yul will notice. And I'm not gonna prompt this, but Yul is my buddy, man. We're together. Like he's got my back and I got his back, and so when we see someone being mean to each other, we're like, hey, don't be mean, man. Don't do that. Be nice to Yul. Yul's great. There's what's going on. Yul's great. So he does the same thing for me. And then, so he goes up to Kylie, and Yul's like, does a medical scan secretly on Kylie, and then is like, but Yul also wants to fit in too. That's the other thing. Like and he doesn't really know how to open up a sentence. So he's just like, hey, Kylie, Kylie was a little mean to me, but he's there, and Yul's being cordial, and you should be cordial for sure. And Yul is like, hey, Kylie, I was just wondering, how that foot fungus is going. How's that yeast infection on your tongue doing? Like, how is that going? Are you gonna get that under control? And I can make some suggestions, and then she'll be just completely offended, and then Yul will look at me, and I'll look at Yul, and I'm like, Yul, you shouldn't do that. That's not great in a social situation. You'll be like, I thought she would like me because I told her, how to fix the yeast infection on her tongue. And he doesn't know. So, and then we have a good laugh, and then we put our arms around each other, and then we walk off to the coffee bar, and it's great. That's going to be a great time. Yul, I love Yul. Yul's great. What else is going on? I heard Masa of SoftBank. Masa is the SoftBank CEO and founder, and I heard him say this. Let's see. He made a remark during a speech on February 21st of this year at the F2 Priority Summit in Miami, discussing his predictions for the future impact of artificial intelligence. So this is what he said: somewhere in between 5 to 10% of today's GDP would be replaced by super intelligence. And that's a bold statement, man. But bold and right, probably. I mean, at the rate of technology today, but there are people who don't think that we are close to AGI, and that could be right too. I mean, it's a wild world we're living in right now. The more I learn about these things, the more I understand. The more it's like, no, I don't really. I think I know about it, and then the more I learn about it, I'm like, I don't really know about this at all. But so anything's possible. I think anything's possible at this point. So yeah, it's wild times. Oh, how about this is really interesting. Have another technology piece called Gibberlink. Now this is wild. I'm going to do a little bit of reading here. Okay, Gibberlink. Like gibberish, like, oh, you're speaking gibberish. So it was created by, oh boy, here we go. Get ready for some get ready for me to butcher these last names. We got Boris Starkov and Anton Pedukiko. That's super fun. That's like, it's a fun name? Wonton Tat. Yeah, Wonton Tat created Clearview AI. That's just a fun. Anyway, at least I can. It's a fun name because I can pronounce it. Okay, that's why, and I can like say it over and over and not screw it up. But anyways, all right, Boris and Anton, they created Gibberlink during the 11 Labs London Hackathon in 2025. So Gibberlink kicks in when two AI agents, like a voice assistant or a chatbot, recognizes each other as artificial entities during a conversation. So they'll start out with niceties like, "Oh, top of the morning to ya. How's that project going with your bits and bobs? And I saw you clambering through the window the other day." And that's their small talk. And then they realize, "Oh, you're an AI. Yep. Oh, you're an AI. Yep." And then they switch over to a sound-based data transmission system, often using something called GigWave. GigWave. That's what I call it. GigWave. It's good for people who have a tiny little stutter like me, because it's like, did you stutter? I'm sorry. Did you stutter? It's like, no, it's actually GigWave. It's like, so this GigWave tech converts data into modulated sound waves. Think of those old dial-up modem noises, kids. but it's faster and more precise. So the result of it is communication that's reportedly up to 80% more efficient than the spoken word, with less computational overhead and fewer chances for misinterpretation. So it's sort of like a language with each other. Is this? So sounds like beep boop, beep beep boop. Okay, I won't subject you guys to those kinds of sounds anymore. But I'm wondering, is this how aliens communicate? Like super fast and efficient? But that's why, or AI, obviously, this is how this particular AI is communicating. And then that's why I think humans are so unique and special. And because we do have the niceties, and not that, I really despise small talk. I don't like it, but I understand it, and something fun can come out of it. Something creative, a funny thing. Maybe someone says a word wrong or stutters like me. And that's human. That's a human thing. But all that is bypassed when you've completely streamlined the entire data transmission. So humans are very unique, and just, you're special. Okay. To my audience out there, you are all very special. You're very special. That's what I have to say. Okay. But there are things that AI and robots should take over, because humans do make mistakes, but okay. Have you heard this story here? A woman in Georgia. I am not surprised it's Georgia. A woman in Georgia. Let me find this story so I get this right. I'm not even sure if this story is true, but I saw it on social media, so it's got to be true. Here we go. A woman received IVF and the reason why I say Georgia, and I'm sorry, I know there are some amazing doctors in Georgia. I'm sure of it. I know a few, thankfully, but it took a while living here for a few years. It took a long time to find a good doctor. And in where I came from, which was up north, near is the Lehigh Valley around, which is the area where I came from. You got Philadelphia, you got New Jersey, you got Princeton, you got the University of Pennsylvania, and then the surrounding, up, you go a little more, you got Boston, you got Harvard, Yale. I mean, you name it. There's all these great colleges, all these great medical colleges. So there's an incredible amount of doctors concentrated in that area. You can't throw a popcorn kernel without hitting a really good doctor. So, but in Georgia, forget it. It's really hard to find a good doctor. So and I've heard of cases about some crazy stories. So this is one of them. So a Georgia woman is suing a fertility clinic. And so what happens is she got IVF and then she's delivering the baby, this beautiful baby, right? She all went well. She got pregnant and her pregnancy good to go, healthy, and then she's delivering the baby. So this black baby comes out of her that she's been carrying for the whole time, and she was just as surprised as the doctors, the nurses, and the husband. And she's like, what is going on? And the husband's like, I didn't know you picked like a black sperm, but that wasn't the case. It was supposed to be her egg and the white dude's sperm, and that's so weird. You might just not want to name your kid Tanner or Cody. That's all I'm saying. That happened, and so this woman's suing the fertility clinic after carrying another couple's baby through birth, and it wasn't a mix-up. She didn't find out about the mix-up until she gave birth to the baby, which is wild. So she gave the baby to the biological parents because the biological parents are like, hey, give us our baby. And she's like, oh, yeah, like, what are you going to do? So, I mean, man, did those parents get off? Like, did that mom get off? Well, she didn't even, that mom, the black baby's parents' mom, didn't have to hire a surrogate. Like, she didn't have to do anything her body didn't go through anything or nothing. So she just got handed a baby, a perfectly healthy baby. It's like, wow, that sort of worked out for her. I mean, it's probably not the way she really wanted it to go, but, and maybe they weren't even ready to have the baby yet, but she's like, wow, I'll take it. It's, sure. So, but yeah, that's wild. It was, yeah. So the woman, I guess the woman who had the baby was just hoping it was a sperm mix up, but the DNA testing provided the baby had no relation to her whatsoever. So yeah, that is wild. That's a wild. Just don't be surprised when the robots take over, okay? I mean, what doctor is signing off on the retrieval of the egg and the sperm from the refrigerator and then a doctor signing off on that and then injecting it into, or what, inseminating it? I mean, come on, we're ready. We're ready for AI and the robots to take over this part where it's. Yeah. So just the robots are coming, and it seems like it's probably going to be a good thing. Now, I'm not gonna. There's great doctors out there, but the bad ones ruin it for everybody. So, yep, it's all her fault. That's all. That's it. That's all I'm saying. How about the bees? The bees, man. What's going on with those bee bops? Those little bee butts, man, they're vanishing. Okay, Einstein said, if bees vanish, humans follow within years. And the bees are vanishing, people. We got to do something about this. Okay, and I want to start with the HOA, these HOA rules where your property has to be pristine and chemical, just riddled with chemicals. I mean, are we in the 1950s? Are we stuck back there where it's everything has to be little boxes on a hillside and little boxes made of ticky-tacky? That's the lyrics to the Weed opening song, Weeds. But no, it's true. It's just like everything has to be perfect and pristine, and that's not how nature is, and that's not how nature was intended to be. So of course the bees are dying because all this pesticide and fertilizer that your HOA is making you spray onto your yards, killing the topsoil, by the way, which kills the worms and the insects that the indigenous birds eat. It's just, and then the bees and the flowers. I mean, these pesticides travel miles and miles, and these poor little bees are getting them, it's getting all over their wings, and then they go to these flowers that are pesticides, just riddled with pesticides, and then they pollinate from those flowers, and then they make the honey with the, and these poor guys, man, what are we doing? What are we doing? We want farm grown sod, and we want those, we want all of the phosphates. Just put those all of, and then the bunnies come hopping through, and the little chipmunks and the squirrels, and they get it all over their feet. Come on. This all goes back to the bees, guys. This all goes back to the bees. Harvard's on it. MIT's on it. Harvard's has a project called RoboBee, and they're making little bee robots to help out. But yeah, that's a long ways coming. I don't think the project is being highly funded. So anyway, I got a little judgy there, and I apologize for that. That's not judgy to you, to my audience. I love you guys. It's judgy to these HOA peoples. I think I saw our HOA guy the other day. He was like hiding behind a bush, like peering out. It looked like he belonged to a bowling club. And it's like, yo, get back to your bowling club, guy. Get out of it. What are you doing? Are you spying on everyone? Let me look at this blade of grass. It's brown. Will you get penalized for your brown blade of grass? Get out of here. This guy he's just a little power hungry in the community, Good Lord. Oh man. It's like, what's his name? His name's like Albert the Bowler. That's his name. It's like, Albert the Bowler, don't even. Come on. Gosh, what are you doing in those shorts and those shoes? What's happening? Writing up tickets like you're a cop or something. Oh, golly, come on, have a little laugh. Come to lighten up a bit. Now, Albert the Bowler, he probably does need therapy. He probably does need that. So, yeah, I advocate for that for sure. Yeah. Yeah. What else is going on, guys? What else is going on? I got a show coming up. I have a show coming up at the end of this month in Woodstock, Georgia. I want to see all your beautiful faces out there. It's going to be great. And hey, just for you guys, I'll do my avocado bit. I hope you come out to my show, guys. All right, I'm going to wrap up this episode. I will talk to you soon. Bye.